So I want to do a complete video on that treasure hunt thing. So I'm like 8 years old. My dad, he's broke his jaw when he was 40. So he's retired after that. And I was with him all the time. I'm 8 years old. This is before I find out he's not my dad. He adopted me. Um, him, Frank Aragon, John Aragon, and my brother Ricky Nesbitt, uh, and Army Garcia. That's my dad, Armilo Garcia. We all drive up. Uh, we're headed west uh, towards Sky City, and I think it's past Grants. And my dad had a friend who I called Uncle, and his name was Ben Shermai. He was a big, giant Native American man, and I think we went down his road. We went back into the mountains, and there was a big mountain. Uh, Let me see if I get my direction right. Once we drove back in there, there's a big mountain to the east of us. There's a little bit of a hilly spot in a mountain, I believe, to the north of us. And then to the west of us, there was a little gravelly, sort of mountainy zone. And so while Ricky and John went hunting, I'm there with Frank and my dad, and they're getting drunk. I said, I drink with them. And we go walking up this path. We're headed west. And what I noticed about the path is it's wide enough to where you could probably get a wagon up there. I was thinking at the time, man, this is a good horse trail to get up there. And once we get up there, it's a little rocky. And once we get up to the top of the ridge, he can see a hole, a cave. And he says, Scotty, I'm gonna poke you up into that cave, because it's way up there, because I'm gonna poke you up on my shoulders into that cave, and you peek in there. And if you see anything, you crawl in there and get it. I said, okay, 8 years old. I know my dad, Drinky. He'll fucking make me do it. So I get up there and I plop my gut down into the cave to peek in there so I can stay stable. I think he's got my feet pushed up. And in the back of the cave, I see a cowboy. He's got a hat on, his jaw's off. It's a skeleton. He's got a shirt, looks torn, looks like pants and chaps. His boots are facing me. So I'm looking at the boots facing me. Arm down, looks like a gun, and another arm down looks like a gun, and there's a gun behind him in the back of the cave. And it looks like 2 saddlebags. So that's going to be 4 bags, because the one saddlebag is 2 cases, front and back, when you put them on a saddle. He's got 2 of them. I think one was on his arm and one was on the ground. And the one that was over his shoulder, you could peek into it, and I could see gold bar sticking out. The one on the ground definitely spilled out gold. Now, I didn't tell my dad what I saw until, man, maybe definitely over 10 years after 8. So it was 18, probably 19 or 20 when my mom died. And that's when I told him, I said, hey, you remember that cave? And he goes, yeah. And I told him what I saw, and he goes, shit, fuck, they'll never find our way back there. But he did say, here's what would happen is the cowboys would go robbing something, either Spaniards, a stagecoach, a train, and then they'd get away, they'd get gut shot, is what he said. They'd get gut shot. And then they will climb up in a cave and die. And how he knew, I don't know. Uh, my dad grew up with guys that were still born in the 1800s. And I have stories. And so he knew what the fuck he's looking at. And I wouldn't remember how to get back in there. I can give you that description. I can give you the general abouts, but and I'm too old to go walking back in that zone. So if you think you can, I'd go look. It's a fucking, they were gold bars, and they weren't big bars. They looked like they were like this. And they were probably, I don't know if I can remember, like 6, 7 inches, and they tapered up, flattened. I don't know. From what I know about gold, that's probably something done and reported. So anyway.